I change your bum life. You fight me, it's a celebration. When you sign to fight me, it's a celebration. You ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties.
Are you ready?
That goes in the files.
Are you ready? Let's get it all!
Yo, welcome back to the 5th round. It's always your boy, Steven Moustaris. And guys, let me just get straight into it. You know, I just kind of went on a little rant. If you guys want to go watch that about the whole Alex Pereira thing, like, it's time for us to start getting real about this shit. Like, this guy doesn't deserve to just go jump up at 205 and get a title fight just because he knocked out Izzy, you know, in his 5th fucking MMA fight, 6th MMA fight. And it's really annoying to me to even think that, you know, after watching, like I literally just said in this video, like the guys like the Tony Fergusons out there, the Max Holloways, the Bilal Muhammad's currently, the Habibs, you know, all these guys, I can name them for days, the Magomed Ankalaevs, like these guys that go on 10 fight unbeaten streaks, 9 fight winning streaks, 12 fight winning streaks, all these things before they ever get a title shot, and have been doing it year after year and truly training every day and actually fighting grapplers, fighting strikers, fighting everything. And you get a guy like Alex Pereira come in and within, 8 MMA fights, pro MMA fights, he has a chance to become a 2-division champion already without fighting one grappler. Like, come on now. Like, let's be a little more legit. So, which leads me perfectly into the next video. Look at this one right here. It's like, it's time for us to get real as well with Israel Adesanya. I'm not a big, like, I'm a huge Izzy fan. Don't get me wrong. I love Izzy. I love Muay Thai kickboxing. I love everything. I love stand-up. It's my sport. It's my martial art that I love. It's what I've trained. So, yeah, clearly I'm going to be a little more biased for these guys. But, you know, Izzy, nowhere close to, like, my top 5, top 10 favorite fighter, to be fair. I do love him. I have a lot of respect for him, but he's not, like, I don't have that connection with him. Like, he's a little corny to me, but he's a great fucking fighter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking shit whatsoever. But here's where I'm getting annoyed with, man. The amount, like, I know I can't do anything about it, but we do need to start. I want to address you guys as well. We do need to start getting real with our fighters, man. It pisses me off how, leading up to this whole fight week, UFC 287, I got the fucking poster right behind me. Leading up to this whole fight week, it's talking about, oh, I can't wait for Alex to knock out Izzy this. Izzy's boring now. Oh, Izzy lost it all. Izzy this, Izzy that. Oh, can he come back and win? Oh, he's done. He's going to be putting out like Elsa. He's going to be frozen like Elsa. All these things and, like, his whole dog collar thing. And just the whole lead up, everybody calling him corny, and they can't wait to see him lose again. And then all of a sudden, it feels like he has no fans whatsoever. It's kind of like when GSP was having his crazy run there for a while, when he was so dominant and finishing everybody, and then he kind of realized, like, oh, I need defense here. You know, I need to start maybe making these fights a little more boring for myself, so longevity wise, and I don't need to kind of go. I'm the champion, so people kind of got to go at me. So, you know, although GSP's loved now and he's a saint, like, people were definitely hating him back then too, because he wasn't finishing fights when he probably could have. And ever since the Yoel Romero fight, you know, the second Marvin Vettori fight, the second Whitaker fight, you know, all these fights, you know, the Jared Cannonier fight, like, ever since all these fights, people have been calling Izzy boring and, oh, he lost it all and everything. And guys, I don't think we understand how ridiculously hard it is to stay on top for so long as a striker. Like, I think striking, like, this is all the way, every time I describe it to my friends and stuff or whoever, like, this is how I always describe it. Yeah, you probably have a better chance to get the notoriety to become famous and stuff as a striker in comparison to wrestling or a grappler like Habib and stuff like that. But the grapplers and the wrestlers and everything, they have a better chance of longevity for the rest of their life, because it's way easier. I shouldn't say way easier, but at least when it comes to damage, it's way easier to avoid damage when you're on top of somebody and you got all the pressure on them. And even though they might be hitting you with some elbows and stuff on the ground, it's not nearly as tough as it is when you're standing up, and these guys they can generate that force from their body and from their feet and from the bottom and just twist with their hips and everything. Like, so much power comes in with that, especially a kickboxer like Alex Pereira, especially Izzy, and, like, all these guys are fighting. So it's like, man, no matter how hard, and all the different transitions and all the different, you know, different things in the fight game, like, dude, how many times do you go in these fights that we see where these guys are just absolutely trading within, like, probably 5 times in 30 seconds or whatever. So add that up to 5 rounds and 5 minutes a round. Like, that shit adds up. So you're going to get caught sooner or later. And it's like, yeah, so, like, you don't blame Izzy for, you know, especially too, when you're the champion, you got 10, 12 people training for you, and you as the champion have to train for 10 or 12 other people. So it's way easier for these contenders to know how to beat you and to make you look a little worse, and to have a good game plan for you to come in and make you, like, nullify you and everything. So, you know, I'm just getting really annoyed. And then all of a sudden, after Izzy wins, like, we got all these fans in the world coming back onto his bandwagon saying, oh, Izzy's the GOAT all of a sudden. Izzy's the 185 GOAT. He's better than Silva. He's better than all this. So it's like, we just got to get real here. Like, we got to stay on one side of the line. I can't stand the flip-floppiness of our fighters, man. Like, once one guy loses one time, it's like, oh, he lost it, he's done. Like no offense to, like, Jorge Masvidal's probably realized this so many times in his career, where it's like those split decisions right before that whole 2019, 2018 revamp of his career. Like, people would love him, people would hate him, people would love him, people would hate him, call him boring, call him he's not that. And then this man goes on a run in 2019 to 2020, making himself look like the fighter of the year, comeback fighter of the year, most improved fighter of the year, like did all that stuff. And then becomes the fan favorite, and then all of a sudden in 2022 again, he's getting knocked out by Usman. He's losing all these fights to Colby, he's losing to Burns, and people are saying, "Oh, you just lost, you suck, we don't like you anymore." And it's just frustrating, man, because for me, I've trained. I'm not a fighter. Don't be wrong. Like, I would love to say I am, but trust me, I'm not a pro fighter when it comes to that. But I've trained, I've done all that stuff, so I understand how hard that shit is already. And then to add it to be more, I really don't even understand how hard it is to fight the top of the top in the world. Like, dude, going and fighting just that guy in the gym who's, just got an awkward style, and he's not good at all. Like, technically, like, you're like, oh, I'll probably run through him, but he's just got that just the awkward fighting style that he's got. And then all of a sudden you're like, damn, I got hit with a hook by this guy. Like, what the fuck? That shouldn't happen. Or I got hit with a real mean body shot. Like, I see it coming, but he's just so awkward. So, I'm just getting frustrated with him, man. Because, 1 second we're talking about how boring he is and how he's fallen off, and then the next second, oh, he's better than Anderson Silva. Like, what are we doing, man? We got to get honest with ourselves here. We can't be doing this shit because this is just ridiculous, and I can't stand it personally. And like, I'd love seeing success like this. I'd love the comeback story like that. Yeah. If I could easily see myself, if I was Alex Pereira, being like, oh, great, you won one time, dude, cool. You knocked me out once. I've knocked you out twice, and I've beat you 3 times out of the first 3 times we fought. And finally, the 4th time you got me. Like, good for you, bro. But as Izzy, like, to actually go through that twice, get knocked out, not only in kickboxing, and then go in MMA and just change your whole, your whole career and everything, your whole identity, and go on to become a champion, not just to do that, but then to go on all these win streaks, to beat everybody in the division how many times, and then this kickboxer comes in and beats you, and you're like, fuck, man, I got finished like that. Like, you could easily, like Usman, you could see how gun-shy he got. Like, all these fighters, we can see it so many times. We've heard it from some of our favorite fighters talking about later in their careers, like Rashad Evans. He's got a really good interview out there talking about how his career changed after Lyoto Machida knocked him out. Like, he just didn't know what to do after that. He was like gun-shy. He was like, man, fuck, if I do this, I'm going to get hit. So for Izzy to take all of that and the finish Alex Pereira, dude, you got to take your hat off to him. The resiliency, just the way to come back, just the dedication, man, just the never quit attitude. Like, that's the shit you want. That's the shit you got to love. So it's like, yeah, maybe he's celebrating a little too much. Like, okay, cool, dude, you still lost 3 times. You still need to beat him another 2 times to even this up. But it's still awesome that he can even go out and win. So, hats off to Izzy. I don't know if I have him quite as the GOAT yet, because I know where people are coming from. He's got tougher opponents and stuff than Anderson Silva, but like, you can't be put the blame for who you have there. That's why the whole, like, Bill Russell and all these things, like when we're talking NBA, is when these guys, they're like, oh, LeBron and Jordan are better because, oh, Bill Russell and Wilt were beating up on our uncles coming off of a plumbing job, for that day, and they're going up at night and playing a game against Bill Russell after fucking working 8 hours. So, like, I hear that, but Anderson Silva had some tough talents, though, just because he was knocking out guys like Rich Franklin, fucking Chris Lieb, and literally knocking out everybody. Knocking Forrest Griffin. I can go on for days and days and days and days and days talking about who he's done stuff to, Vitor Belfort, all the crazy knockouts we've seen. And, it's like, dude, he made those guys look fucking terrible. He did his job. Like, yeah, I guess the Chael Sonnen got him, but you could always, like, I guess he technically didn't get him, but he was beating his ass for the entire fight. And you can say that the same with, Izzy getting his ass, or I shouldn't say his ass beat, but, he got nullified and got taken down and just got controlled by Jan Blachowicz. That's that loss right there. There's arguments that he lost that second fight to Whitaker. It's Silva against Weidman kind of taking it off. Like, we've seen Izzy get knocked out. So it is a tough, comparison for real. And I still personally have Silva up there just because, just the wow factor and just how he changed the game and everything. But still, Izzy's the man, and I'm just getting annoyed how everybody's just, flip-flopping. And I should be used to it, but man, it's just mad frustrating for real. So, as always, your boy Steven Moustaris, and I cannot wait to see what's next with Izzy. I'm sure it's probably going to be like a Dricus du Plessis or something, or especially now they're saying Hamzat's about to go fight Paulo Costa. But seriously, thank you guys so much, and comment, subscribe, whatever the fuck you guys want to do. I don't really care. I'm just here to interact with other MMA fans. So, as always, your boy Steven Moustaris, and let's go, baby.